Hey, my name is Aram. My pronouns are he, him, and welcome back to Escape the Union. We've been off for a couple weeks, so it is nice to be back, and we're going to go around from the top left, starting with Amity.
Hello, I am the top left. My name is Orla. This is my place, and I claim it as my own. My name is Orla. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Amity, the demigod of redistribution.
And then to the middle square with Ashrin.
Hi, my name is Mary. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them, and I play Ashrin, the demigod of strands, and her pronouns are she or her.
And over to Magnuson.
Hello, I am the top right. This is my place, and I claim it as my own. My name is Chris. My pronouns are he, him, and I play Magnuson Shade, the demigod of redemption, whose pronouns are also he, him.
And then down to Yara.
Hi, I'm the bottom right, and I guess that would make me the leg.
Damn right you are.
I am right arm. Yes.
I play Yara, the demigod of stewardship. Her pronouns are she, they. Mine are he, him.
If we ever go into another mech, this is how the layout will be. Ashton will be the head, left and right arm, and then, yeah, that's just how it's going to be. And then last but not least, Diamond.
Hi, my name's James. My pronouns are he, him, and I play Diamond in the Rough, the demigod of trash. And her pronouns are she, her, or they, them.
And I think that we agreed that Magnuson was going to give the recap this week, even though Magnuson spent the whole last game unconscious. So this will be, as the events filtered into Magnuson's unconscious mind, this is what they came up with.
So the last thing Mags remembers is the bridge. There's a quiet moment in the fields outside of the Union. It was just him and Ashrin. And then suddenly that tether snaps and it's just darkness. What he he doesn't really see a whole lot. He just processes the things he hears, which can be kind of a jumble at times because, when your brain is trying to process information without really intaking anything, you just get a lot of weird things coming. So there's some mention of guns and lots of yelling and screaming from Doro because that's just how he is as a person. But he does remember feeling like this kind of like sinking feeling. He either was thrown or fell and hit something like hardwood floors. He remembers the feeling of like almost kind of like when your hands clam up and get really sweaty, like that feeling of like tension and sickness in the air and in his system. He remembers hearing the growl of very large cats, but he doesn't know what they were. There were guns. He remembers hearing very loud, small, isolated explosions, but he doesn't know what that is. At least not yet. And then eventually, like that kind of poisonous, clammy feeling fades. There's like a breath of fresh air and the smell of seawater. And lots of kind of very tense conversation, more growling from large cats, and he's trying to process because now all of a sudden there's just awkward silence. After a few moments, he starts to stir back towards, like out of like REM sleep, in towards just like semi-unconsciousness. And his eyes open and he sees an interior of something he's never seen before. It's dark but also slightly lit, candle lights, and the very calming blues and greens of the ocean spilling in through the glass as we set the scene.
And I would say that those blues and greens spilling in through the glass are getting dimmer. Now, in the text on this, in the Dragon Heist book, they're like the entire interior is pitch dark because Drow only use their dark vision on the submarine. It's like they have dark vision, but like everyone wants a little bit of candlelight. I mean, no one wants to be like,
Also-
I activate my black and white
Also,
vision at
this
all times.
extra bitch for sure had he's a fucking chandelier or something, candelabra on his
right.
desk.
Yeah, I can't imagine he doesn't have lights in here because, like, Dark Vision's entirely black and white. And he'd want to
Right.
look at all the fancy shit he put in this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, like,
Also,
would you
how else would he
read
know it
books?
wasn't clashing?
Jarlaxle does not live in grayscale.
No, there's
Exactly.
no way. I mean, this submarine is so extra that in the cockpit area you're in, behind you is an aquarium. There is an aquarium on the submarine, and in this aquarium are like creatures that create their own bioluminescence. So the further we go down, the brighter they
That's
glow.
sick.
Right?
Do you
Yeah.
That
do you
looks
make up
cool.
things that you know will make Amity really angry on purpose,
Yeah,
or
well,
do you
that-
just is it
I mean,
coincidentally of your personality?
It's a 50-50 combination between what would make you mad and what I would do if I was more gay and more evil. Right?
The answer to both of those questions is yes. Yes, he does.
100%. I was like, because like I watched, what was that movie, Sing? Right? It was the animated movie Sing, and at the end,
Yeah.
the grand finale, they got all those light up squids whose like job it was just to be decorations, and then put them into their stage, and then blew it up. Like it was okay. Like no one seemed really concerned about the lives
I have
of the
not
glow
seen
up
this movie.
squids. And I watched this, and part of me is like, well, that's kind of terrible for them. And my other part of me is like, that would look great live on a stream. that would be fantastic. All right, so you are in the cockpit, right? That's where we left off. We were all in the cockpit. I
Yeah,
think.
everyone had sort of gathered in the cockpit.
Gathered.
Because you had been struggling for control, right?
Well, struggling for a moment, and then like Diamond did the thing where it's just like, as an artificer, she just looked at it and it's like, these are the simple man's controls because that bitch did not know how to operate a submarine on his own.
No. Exactly. There's like one big lever that says up and one big lever that says, left and right, and that's what he used. And then there was like two other people behind him that was actually dialing things in. They would just get a light on their station that said, I want to go up now. And they're like, all right. And they would actually do it.
That's canon forever. in my mind.
Yeah.
And everyone helped Ashran get the Lady Dreaming's
Oh yeah,
paws
yeah.
of water.
Right. Yep.
Yep, you got that now.
All right, so
That's the
that
thing.
all had just happened as this incredibly bright beam of light had appeared above you, and Baros's temple had begun to descend into the ocean after you. At the same time, this pool of blackness is opening up underneath you. You just got control of the submarine. Everyone's still freaking out. There's like this rumbling and pressure waves are rocking through this vessel you barely have control of. What are you doing?
Well, Amity still riding kind of an adrenaline high here, and actually really not being all that worried. It's just kind of like, guys, rock in a hard place. What do you think? We gonna risk Crazy Face McGee or the endless void? My vote is void, but my vote is normally void, so you know.
Diamond from up front, where where she's like looking at the controls and like peering through the window at like all of this. It's just like, I think I would like to take my chances with the void rather than with Baros. Especially because he's a dick and I do not like him.
So there's a
Ashran will
glass.
cling to her vase and say, "Yeah, void sounds great."
We'll have to
There's
deal
a
with him
glass
eventually.
all along the top
Eventually, yes.
of this submarine, right? And the light from Baros's temple is already shining through the water and reaching down. A beam of it kind of makes a circle as it glows and kind of searches within your sub. And as it goes across Doro, it's like a shadow is just removed by the sun. He reaches out for a moment and says, I need to tell. And then he's just gone.
Oh fuck. Mags,
don't
make
like
a
that.
decision. Last vote.
Mags is just kind of still coming to slightly,
We
almost blinded by the light, not understanding what's going on
We
because
can
I'll
he's
go for-
face
give him a
him
minute.
on our
And
own
out.
terms. I have his bookmark. We don't have to face him when we're unprepared.
what's going on?
Okay, maybe you don't get a vote till you're fully conscious.
I have his
Okay, so
bookmark. I have
Yara, you're
to
the
do
only
this
vote
right
for
now.
Barrows currently. Are you okay with void?
Today.
Baros is here?
Yeah, no, go back to sleep.
I assume the ship dives downward.
Diamond.
Yeah, Diamond's just like,
Max
we're
just-
going with void and just
Mags just
like
drags
down.
his head and just holds up his hands.
All right, then the ship lurches forward. You all feel it shift in your seats. You grab railings and everything as you dive down into this darkness. The light and Baros above you gets fainter and fainter until you're in this pool of darkness, and then the pull of gravity lets go of you as you find yourself, as the ship flips over and you all tumble throughout this cavern, you find yourself slowly spinning
Not again.
above this sphere of blue and green beneath you as the sun slowly fades on the horizon.
Are we on the surface?
Where?
We're on the surface
Are
right now?
we in space?
You
We're
are
in
definitely in
fucking
space.
This isn't.
Oh no.
Thank you
Guys,
for the
what
follow.
is that? What
You are
is?
definitely in space. Yeah, it's
No,
like,
no, that was in character.
Okay.
no,
okay.
I know, like, I
What
was
is the
thinking about this too.
situation?
How
What
would
is
you
the situation
respond?
with the water in my vase?
So
I think-
there's a top on it. So there's like
Okay,
a clay lid and it's holding tight. It's not just like she's like spilling throughout. Oh no.
Guys,
There goes the Lady Dreaming.
I think Max is like clutching his head, and then all of a sudden he doesn't feel the floor anymore, and he opens his eyes and is like, "Oh God, I'm levitating. This is weird. This is
you're
weird."
not.
You're not
I don't know what's
levitating.
happening, but I'm looking out the window at this thing spinning beneath me.
Yeah.
Do I see the shapes of land masses?
You definitely see shapes of land masses. How you would
So
recognize them.
Could I do a nature check?
Do I recognize any continents from maps I might have seen?
It's a good question. I guess you probably could. I would say, okay, I need either a survival roll or a investigation roll. I'll take either one.
Investigation is. Not great.
Not the worst
It's a
either.
13.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been the coastline of northern Kadar that you're rolling over. It's just hard to tell. It's so different. from looking at a map.
Now, guys, call me crazy, but does that look like Kadar to you on that orb floating beneath us?
I
Now
try
that,
to
now that she's pointed it out, could I do a survival check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. 21 was the first one.
Yeah, I mean,
There you
you have seen.
You
Wrong,
muted
you've
yourself
got
somehow.
silent.
Was that? I'm sorry.
Oh.
Muted yourself there for a moment somehow.
Oh, sorry. So I would say that you have seen a map, or you have engaged with the earth in some
The
way.
Fae have their ways.
Sure, like you understand where the land meets the sea, and I guess, like in this particular instance, yeah, you recognize that as the coastline of northern Kadar, as you guys are kind of rolling eastward.
Ooh, can I do something?
That's Northern Kadar.
Does anyone want to do something first? I just had an idea.
What do you want to do?
Fire
Does
all
anyone
the
else want to do
torpedoes.
something first?
Does anything of this recognize? Does anything, as I'm starting to like spin and find my bearings, do I recognize anything that I would specifically see land-wise?
Well, you can see the edges of
either
the
a
world
city-
storm, so there's that. So you can see that the world storm is still active.
So this isn't our world then.
This is not
no.
our
Well,
world.
it's not. No, or not yet.
It's not our time.
Or yeah, it's not our time.
Yeah.
Is the better way to put it. Yeah.
Would
Can I go up to one of the windows and see? Can I see a comet?
So if you press
go to,
up
like,
against the window,
A few different windows in turn and try and find a comet.
eventually, as you're kind of pressed up against it, you can see like kind of hidden in the sun is just the edge of this green comet streaming towards the earth.
Okay. Guys, I think I know what happened.
Yes,
Um,
I'm all ears. Diamond in the background has like hit up against the glass and like scuttled down, come back to like where the control center is like holding there, and it's like reached back into her bag and has like come out with like here's like mountaineering gear, like clips herself onto it and is busy tying that off.
Right, you're just like rappelling from the ceiling, all set up already. Yeah, absolutely.
Where I like think Amity has her
She's
like
slowly moving to
climbing
everybody else to
height
start
and
setting
down.
them up.
Right, so you're all clipped in. I love it.
So the first thing, this thing spinning below us looks like a globe. It's a map of the world, Khalgun, our world, except in the future because like, there's that storm that hasn't happened yet. However, that is the sun, and that is the comet, which means that we are somewhere between the sun and the world currently. I don't know.
Do not think that is a
How?
place that a submarine should go.
I don't think so either, but then I've never been on a
Oh.
submarine before, and I've never been between the Earth and the Sun before. So, I mean, a
Well-
lot of new material here.
Can we move this while we're in space?
Diamond looks over at the controls.
That
Looks
sounds
back
like a
at you,
diamond
shrugs.
Normally it's used in water, but maybe we could propel ourselves?
She'll go over and be like, one moment, and is just gonna like wiggle the like left right, see if anything happens there.
My science brain is crying right now.
So as you wiggle the left, right,
Don't cry until it moves.
and the wibbly wobbly flipper wing, which is made of magic, on the side of your spacecraft that makes it look like a flying manta ray, with the body of it being this glass and steel magically reinforced ship with magic, and it magics its way to the left and kind of like does a slow magical barrel roll that is completely in line with how physics works.
Yeah, so
I,
Diamond likes
Amity,
around,
know
you
no
motherfucker.
reason why we shouldn't rapidly descend to the Earth.
Well,
We
no,
can
that's
see-
true. That's true.
Well,
Just dive bomb right towards Earth. I
I
see no
have
problem with
one-
this plan whatsoever.
Why can't we look at the comet?
'Cause there's a baby Tarask in it? Right?
Do we know that for sure?
I mean, I felt like that was strongly implied, no?
Yeah.
Right,
At
but
And the bit of comet
implications are...
crashed in water deep, a baby Taras came out of it, and we had to go into giant statues to fight it. We do not currently have giant statues. We are trapped in
No.
You have a
space.
sub.
But we have the ability to look at it closely before impact to see what we can see.
Yes, Do.
That's the thing we could do.
You mean disable it before it impacts?
Maybe. Just see what it is, see if there's
Or
anything we can do
just-
about it.
Point
It's
of
not.
order.
It's it's not born yet. It's not hatched. It's still in the thing. We don't need to fight it. We just need to move it.
Make it so it doesn't impact.
Bingo.
Because what if it crashes into the moon or crashes into the sun or crashes into somebody else's planet? I mean, no, that's not great, but you know what I mean. It wouldn't crash there, right?
Just adjust it.
Yeah, I don't know. We just, I don't know, drive into it.
It
We
took
can
us.
You
It's
had me
like
until
old
that.
magic.
It's just flying, right?
Amity, it took old magic for us to even fight the thing. We're in
We're
a
not
metal
fighting it
tube.
because it's not awake. It's just a rock right now. That the thing is inside the rock, but it's like if you took a slingshot and
It's
you
all
were
right.
firing a rock with a slingshot. Now, what
Well-
if you fired a slingshot rock at me, and then I hit the rock with a stick, and then the rock went somewhere else.
I have a better idea.
I don't know. That
Everybody
sounds
invents
pretty
baseball.
solid.
I have an evil, terrible, wonderful idea.
You use a lot of slingshots in baseball, do you, James?
Shh, it's fine. You invented baseball. You invented baseball and Khalgun. Don't worry about it. Shh. Ultimate baseball and Khalgun. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I don't think.
I just now
So you
picturing
said
like
you had a-
every
you had a-
pitcher with
you had
like a
an
little
idea there?
slingshot.
I
Back
have
of their
a terrible,
pocket.
wonderful idea.
It's your terrible,
What
wonderful,
does that
horrible,
entail?
Well, I
very
tried it with the
idea.
submarine. It didn't work because I was trying it by myself. But what if? I'll say this in character. What if we were to throw it away from the planet? We could bind it in energy and change its path. I tried to do it with the submarine to make it sink, but it didn't work. But maybe with your help,
Spell you cast last time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
aka use Earthbind to make it go towards the sun instead of the planet.
No, maybe not.
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm saying. Move it.
No, the sun could probably kill it. I'd put good money on the sun killing
Well,
Trask.
Earth bind is kind of implying binding
Oh.
to the earth.
Yeah,
So
I
there
Yes.
is
got
that.
you
I
there.
mean,
Well,
so
okay. Let me look at something real quick.
So
as
are
you,
we-
but as you
What
all are
would
discussing
happen if
this,
you
though,
cast warding wind in space?
Actually,
What
I was
if I
also,
cast-
also thinking about that.
If I'm floating and I
Right.
cast levitate on myself, do I suddenly have gravity?
I would say that if you cast
You
levit,
smack into the ceiling.
yeah, I mean, I would say that you would go up in whatever direction you were oriented. You would just head upwards, you know, whatever way you went.
Or fly?
Right,
One,
well,
you
but
two,
in
three.
one
Well,
direction.
fly, you'd be able to fly.
Like
yeah.
you'd have
Yeah.
to somehow reorient yourself and then go the other way. You couldn't change direction mid-flight.
I also have a dumb backup plan.
Well,
Let's-
as you all are discussing this, there's
Oh, no, it wouldn't
a
work.
red light goes off in front of Diamond. You guys hear a as like things power down. The ship lists forward as you've been locked out, Diamond. Something has locked you out of the controls, and there's just red lights on all the panels.
Yeah, she looks at that and she's like, "That is frustrating." Well, before we do any of our crazy plans, point of order.
we need to make some plans here. Yeah, we need to make some plans. You gotta let us up on top of the ship. Yeah, you gotta let us up there.
Who is that?
Hello?
What the fuck was that?
And you're like a doom, 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 like somewhere deeper in the ship. You can't just like push us around. Not anymore. Not the boss man's gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Push who around? Who are you? Can you hear us?
And like there's a crackle on a speaker above you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, cool. Who are you?
Hello?
Listen, what you gotta do is you gotta let us have at least 20% of the hull.
What hole?
You know, the hull. The hull.
We don't exactly have a hull.
Yeah, I know
We're
what a
currently-
hole is, but I'm saying what hole specifically? Whose hole?
Okay, look, we're gonna negotiate. We're gonna negotiate in the hold.
Oh, I'm gonna
Okay.
take care of this.
And are they?
Are you-
I'll
are
come.
you-
I'll come with you. I'm not going to be
Wait.
any help with the machines.
Madison, hold on. And so she sees how he's feeling, and she undoes the buckle of her belt,
Yeah.
and she takes it off, and she hands it to him. she says, I don't need this anymore. I don't want this anymore.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay, just if you change your mind, let me know. Then he'll fumble with trying to put it on.
This gets shredded.
Just purple pants. That's all that's left of Magnuson.
And suddenly
Big old shield.
that bag that she has feels just a little bit too
Suddenly, all his
A little
armor
heavier.
shape turns
Everything
green.
feels a little heavier. Although nothing feels heavier right now. So I guess.
Oh
you're
yeah,
fine.
okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Vacuum of space.
So nothing changes. It's like, oh well, this is actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be.
Maybe
Yeah,
I am
so-
just naturally strong.
Who is going
Um,
into the hold?
I'll go.
All right, so Magnuson and Amity are both gonna go.
Yeah,
So-
just on the way out though, I give like Yara a little light tap, lighter than I would have yesterday because she's taking the belt off.
Right.
And
Also,
kinda-
gravity.
It doesn't make a
or
punch
lack
hurt
thereof.
less. Just because you're
Also gravity.
stronger doesn't mean a punch hurts less. I think it. You know?
principle of the thing.
Bob Yara on the shoulder,
That's-
she starts to
That's not what it is.
spin in
It's about
place.
how. It's just about
That's what
fairness.
it,
Give her a little-
actually, it's like they would both because there's equal reactions. So
Oh yeah,
both
equal, like,
go
but you're like
spinning
Bob her on the shoulder, and you just like boom.
When you do that, Amity, Aria gives you like a little judgmental look, and then she just gives you like a big smile. Like you can even see it in her eyes, and then she kind of goes back to looking out the windows.
You did good, by the way, today.
We'll
Forgot
talk.
to say it earlier.
We'll talk.
Anyway,
And
going.
there's a red light that appears above the door hatch, and there's a and it opens up into the hallway beyond the command pit, cock
Yeah.
bridge area. That was the
I'm
David.
sorry. I'm sorry. The what are off?
The bridge, the fucking bridge,
Uh-huh.
the bridge. Yes.
During this time, Ashrin has also been doing like prestidigitation to make the air a little cooler or windier to make people not get as much motion sick as
That's
possible.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that work? I mean, yeah, I would guess it would work. I mean, it would
Well, I
certainly
mean,
help, you know.
It works if you like put cold air in your face if you're getting car sick and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's not a
That's
psychological
That's just a
even.
nice mom thing to do. You're like, oh my, just don't worry.
And then there's
just
cookies
Yeah.
and hot chocolate.
sip your tea and just take deep breaths. You'll be fine. We're just in space.
Right.
All right, so you guys kind of like claw your way down this hallway and then down into the hole below, and the lights in there are off. It's pitch black inside. There are no windows. It's just dark.
I have dark vision, so I'm good.
Right. Okay. So what
I
you
find a
say-
light switch. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like you're kind of fumbling for it and like click,
Yeah.
click, click, but it's not coming on. Like nothing's happening. Just stay where you are. Yeah, let us see your heads. All right. You only got two? You only got two, right? Door's got two hands? Yeah, they got two hands. Okay, listen, keep your hands. Keep
Amity
them up.
puts one of her feet up as well.
Hey, no, is that a hand? That's not a hand. Shut up. Listen, so what we want is we want equal share of the loot. We don't know what's going on here, but obviously there was a deal with
guys.
the old crew. It's not gonna work anymore. You can't just push us around. Yeah, you
What?
can't just push us around.
Loot. You need to tell us what loot.
Also, like, what are their names? Homework time. What are
We
their names
agreed
again?
on Hodin and Enna.
Hodin and Enna. Okay, so I'm Hodin. Yeah, and I'm Enna. Yeah. So that's who you're gonna be dealing with right now.
Okay.
And Hodin's the guy, and then Enna's the girl.
Yeah.
A girl.
Yeah. So you say what loot?
Yeah, it's like I mean, I'm perfectly willing to negotiate this with you guys, but you got to tell us what loot you're talking about.
So you hear like a beep, and then the glow lights come on all around you, and there's two gnomes tucked behind these boxes and these barrels that they've kind of formed a little barricade with crossbows, and they kind of peek out and they look at you. One of them reaches over to the wall and pulls a big lever down. That's like, and like two doors open up on either side of you, and they are packed full with gold and gems and jewelry and swords and armor and
Oh
potions,
my God.
and I mean it is a treasure trove on either side of you.
So, how much we talking?
If you just had to like estimate, I mean there's probably a total
good with
value
money.
of like 100,000 gold here.
Oh yes. Okay.
We've seen bigger.
True.
I mean you've been in the Waterdeep vaults, that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
technically had 500,000 gold.
Uh,
So that'd be five
Sorry, I
times.
know you guys are in the middle of something, but while they're having this meeting, can I start casting a ritual?
Yeah,
spell?
sure. What do you want to? What do you want to?
I want to cast augury, and then we can resolve that after they're done with this.
All right, excellent. Okay, so so that's what he just shows you a treasure hoard, and they've got their little crossbows out, and like we have no allegiance to the old boss man. He was treating us badly.
That's good. That would be really awkward because we almost killed him.
And they kind of went, whatever. But we do want
We had it
our
covered.
fair share of the loot.
You guys have been working here?
Well, working, yeah. I mean, we had an option of like work or die.
Right.
You've been slaves.
Well, we got paid, but like it was highly
You couldn't-
encouraged that we not take an early retirement, if you know what I mean.
We have no problem splitting this with you. We don't really need much money or anything. Wouldn't mind like poking around for a couple of fun things, since we're here.
Yeah.
But you guys can pretty much. I mean, we're kind of in a bad situation right now, so I feel like this isn't our top priority. But like, let's just say like on
Nah,
principle.
the ship's good. Boom, boom. It handles deep water just fine. We're gonna be okay. Don't worry.
No, we're
This
not
isn't
in
deep water.
We're not in water anymore. That's what I'm trying to say.
And like they are, they are kind of like floaty and like holding on to the thing, like and like, well, that it does explain why we ain't touching the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So something went a bit wrong. There was a portal and crazy magic.
Magic.
Yeah, and we're kind of in a different world, universe, plane of existence.
Oh, in the astral realm? That's probably it. We're in the astral realm. Gravity's weird in the astral
No,
realm.
but really, I mean, you're in the right direction. I think
Nah.
it's like similar.
You know what? Hang on. And they just like walk up with you.
Don't open
Or
any
they-
doors. I don't think.
They kind of like fly up with you and like look out a porthole and like, oh, well, fuck. Yeah. So
So you can see why like the loot isn't our first priority right now, right? You can
that's
see where we're
kind
going
of dawning
with
on them as well now as you guys flip over. Like, all right, hang on. And he immediately restores power to the ship. They get the fact that they're just like along for the ride. Like we don't want to be in space any more than you do. So whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
we're on board for
So,
helping.
but when we get down to the ground, you guys are pretty much welcome to
Half.
most of this shit. You're like
Oh,
half, yeah, for
oh,
sure.
shit.
I mean, honestly,
God
guys,
damn
we
it.
haven't spent money since like the first episode
That's true.
that we were in a town. When was
there
the
are
last time
other
any of
things
us
there.
spent any money?
Like there
Yara
was,
spent some money in Waterdeep.
there
No, I
was
didn't.
clearly a shine of
No.
magic.
Magnuson bought a spider.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
that's
Oh
okay.
yeah, I
He did.
spent money in Waterdeep.
No, that was
One-
free. He gave it to you free though.
I tried spending money in Waterdeep. Let's be fair.
Yeah. This,
It's not
my
our fault
point-
people
We're
are nice
never
and
in
want
a
to give us
town with
Magnuson
money long
things.
enough to spend it.
Or
Right.
if we
Honestly
are,
true.
we've just saved them from horrible doom, and they're just giving us stuff from free.
Exactly. You know, it's
true.
the whole like,
like,
oh,
I-
these
I'm
things
like-
It's a
that
good
sell.
way to go about our business, honestly. To save
We
people,
did
get
buy
stuff
the
for
tea
free.
house.
Like, I'm not saying we are
Gave a
not
lot
going
of
to
money
grab
to the
it.
tea house.
That was a
No,
while
We did do
ago.
that.
No.
All right. So
Anyways.
there's obviously some magical items inside these piles. If you guys wanted to, if you said you wanted to like look through them, if you wanted to look through them, that would be an option. You could take inventory of what is in there.
They
Right.
take an inventory of the ship, like not even just like the magical items, but getting an idea
Sure.
of like what the ship is like. Because like we've been here like 10 minutes and we tried to kill Jarl Axel, so like
Right, well,
like we
that's
don't know the
Yeah.
the bigger everything going on there. It's one of those things that we have some ideas of like what we'd like to do while we're up here in space, but it's probably like a case that like getting to know what this thing can do and then making choices from there is the smart thing to do. At least that's
So-
what Diamond's gonna prioritize. Everybody else wants to go
Sure.
like through the magic items. Go for it. I don't
So
know.
Yeah.
someone should probably do that. Well,
So I would say as they're down there starting to look through everything, Diamond, you've been like looking over the controls and layouts. You were able to pull up like there's it's like lighted dots, but it forms a map, and there's lighted tubes in between them that like of neon, and that lays out the entire ship in front of you, and then those connect to like panels that show information, right? This whole kind of like spider
Yeah.
web. And as you're looking at it, you realize that it's a 2-level ship. On the level you're on is the forward cockpit area, and then there are private berths for the lieutenants, and then there's the captain's quarters in the back, and then below you is like a mess area, berthing for the rest of the crew, the cargo area, and then everything in the back of the ship is basically a hollowed out area that allows water to be pumped in and out for ballast. That doesn't really matter right now, but you do
Not
have
right now, but you know, when we get back into water, yeah.
you do have a ton of seawater in the back right now.
That's actually good. We can use that as propellant.
It
potentially,
would be
depending on-
good if it wasn't currently freezing and expanding. And as you're
that's right.
looking at
Oh,
lights,
shit.
you can
Fuck yeah, we're in
hear
space.
a cracking and a groaning of steel in the sections behind you.
Yeah, we are in a
I
vacuum.
might be able to go help with that.
Yeah. So Diamond's gonna see that and be like, "That I need to go take care of." All right. And you know, we'll probably like
Ashton
look
will
to.
come with you.
Yeah. She's gonna look over to you know to Holden and Edna and be like, "You two, you work on this, correct?"
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking to the gnomes. They, sorry,
Yeah,
they
to
were
the gnomes,
like,
yeah.
they were just so enhanced, looking out the window. They go, oh yeah, like work on work on what? Like stop what? Like do like make ice not happen.
You understand how this? You understand how this thing works, correct?
Well, we could direct some heat to the back. Like there's steam pipes that go through that. If we tried to overheat them, maybe we could melt the ice.
That is a good idea. We need to overheat it. We need to heat it. We need to melt it back, and then immediately expel it out so that it is not in here expanding, causing terrible things.
Well, good seems like a relative term here, but like I think we can like give this a shot. We're on it. And they go running down into the engine room, and like steam starts bursting out, and you hear a lot of pipes and banging and a lot of gnomish cursing.
Diamond, if that doesn't work,
Yeah. So
if you could help me figure out a way to keep the metal hot that I have, because I can heat metal up. It just doesn't last for nearly long enough that we have.
I can do that as
I
well.
know I'm not
Okay.
there,
Going to
but
work.
would you say how many in gallons? How much water would there be back there?
It'd be a lot.
Like
I would
50,
say several
100,
hundred gallons.
Several hundred. Okay.
Yeah, it would be a lot of water back there. It's about a fourth of the
Try to get-
ship with the layout, so it'd be a
Oh, okay.
ton of water. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
you would need it to overcome. everything else is pressurized, basically magically pressurized with magic.
This is exactly what I'm going to school for.
Yeah,
And so
that's
I'm like, well,
exactly
here's what
it,
you do.
Yeah, floating in space with your magical submarine. This is what you're
Yeah,
going
exactly.
to school for.
That's what you got to
Listen,
school for.
nuclear tech's gone a long ways.
Excellent. All right,
uh,
so I would say the two gnomes are doing what they can, right? The
Yeah.
rest of who is going through the magical items right now? So it's Magnuson and Amity, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
well, let's say Amity is starting too. So Amity, you're on one side, and Magnuson is on the other side. What are you looking for?
Going through loot quickly for the most valuable possessions, perhaps. Something I have some experience at.
That it does seem like is there anything in particular you're looking for? Or are you just kind of looking through the items?
Well, I don't go, just mostly items, because I think most of us are good with weapons. Anything that looks magical might like jump out at me.
Sure.
But mostly I'm looking for like potions and obviously magical stuff. Because I'm
I
like, we
would-
don't really need money. We
Sure.
don't need a sword. We don't need a shield. Like
Right.
we don't need that kind of stuff. We need something that might change our circumstances right now.
Have you all found potions yet? I think you found healing
No.
potions,
Sure,
right?
in the
I've
world?
made a potion.
I could have sworn you had healing potions at some point. What,
Nope.
am
But yeah, I
wrong
think
about
we
that?
did.
Yeah, and
I
they
think we
were
did have
okay.
some at one point.
There are about half a dozen small glass vials with that same ruby sparkling liquid that smells like fruit punch inside, and you know that those are definitely vials of healing. So there's 6 of those, and I would also like you to roll a D100.
Oh, spicy. 30.
All right, so in this rack, it's like a test tube rack, and they're all got these cork stoppers and this golden thread that wraps around and seals the cap with the tiniest drop of wax, right? The last one on this, so there's 7 of them in total. The first 6 are this ruby and kind of sparkly color, right? That when you hold up to the light seems to glow brightly. The 7th one is this silvery blue material that's like, it's clearly a liquid, but sometimes it's opaque and sometimes you can see right through it. It kind of spirals like a tornado inside this clear liquid that becomes blue and nothing and blue over and over as you look at it. And that's so you find this like rack of magical potions. It's clearly magical, just not sure exactly what it is. But as you look at it, you see just for a moment, you can see like an image of the two gnomes in the engine room, and you can hear a blast of steam as you stare at this liquid, and then it just fades away.
Okay.
All right, and on the other side, I believe that Magnuson was searching, right?
Yep.
All right, Magnuson, I
I want to go. I'm gonna head. I'm gonna stop searching and go for
Right.
the gnomes.
Okay, excellent. Magnuson, I would like you to roll a D100.
I take all the potions.
Oh, yeah, naturally, yeah.
Also a 30.
No, you can't the same thing. You're gonna have to.
Alright,
So because you rolled a 30, you're gonna get to roll twice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So roll 2 die 100?
Roll 2 D100, please.
Is it thinking?
Okay. Oh, that's not it.
Oh,
Anyway.
All right, the first one is 48, and the
Second one is a 39.
that was another 30. Okay, so the first one is a 48. There is a potion, and as you pull it up, it's a glass vial, but it just has rock in it. And it isn't until you turn it to the side that the rock moves like water, but it's clearly just stone. It's just that it's stone that shifts like water. It's a very strange thing to look at, and it moves very slowly, like a very thick syrup, right? And the second one is, then there's a second potion right next to that one. This one just has a swirling green gas inside it.
And they just have like cork stoppers.
Mm-hmm. Yep, both of them.
Can I smell anything through the stopper?
Sure, I would say that the gaseous one, it smells a little bit like sulfur and garlic, right? And then vinegar. And the other one
That's like
has no scent whatsoever.
I'm guessing there's one with the rock is some sort of probably hill giant strength, maybe. That tracks, I think. This one, maybe poison resistance?
It's a trap
knows?
fart is what it is.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, that's just my guess.
Ashton will come down and look through. Like, did you guys anything light up? Did you find any godstones or anything like that?
Fair question.
Yeah, I would like you, Ashrin, to go ahead and roll an investigation, or roll an investigation, and also roll me a D100.
No.
47. Okay, so you are digging around, and it's hard to, like, stuff's just kind of piled up. There's like bags of gold, and you have to open things and pull things and shift whole like heavy 50-pound sacks out of the way.
Nothing's lighting up. There's no godstones.
Everything's lighting up. The problem is, like, the whole ship is magical, so there's like a constant glow, and there's also like there's all this illumination from the various lights that are used, so it's very difficult to tell. But eventually you move this large sack back, and you see this intricate carved jade box with a golden latch. It's clearly a stronger magic than the rest of them.
Well, it's not a godstone, but it's interesting.
You're gonna drag that out. It's about 10 pounds. It's easy. It's easy
Yeah.
enough to drag out. You
I'll
pull
drag
it
it
out. You get it out from the rest of it, and it's locked.
Well, I know how to fix that. So is Magnuson and Amity still around?
I would say Mags is. Amity left to go down. Where'd you go, Amity?
Finding the gnomes.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm gonna call out, "Hey Mags, I'm doing a dumb thing," and then cast knock on it and open it.
Okay. So ding, it just opens right away, and inside of it is this pair of like silver chimes on a thin thread.
You know, those are.
Huh.
And inset in this box, like inside the lid as you open it up, like it's a very bright glow, and you kind of squint your eyes because it's inset on this inlaid lid that's all mirror with gems around a central stone. It's clearly a godstone.
Ooh. Okay.
That in there. Just in case.
Okay. I'll close it and then make my way out of this dangerous treasure pile that is probably floating right now.
Yeah,
Because we're in
it
zero
is.
gravity?
Yeah, right. So when they opened it, like it's like two
Just
containers
swimming.
and like coins are spilling out. They're very busy. You know, if they were there, they'd be shoving them back in, but they're too busy trying to get the ship under control. So yeah, there's some spillage in steerage.
Sorry,
That's
I just wanted to tell you just in case it like knocked me out or something, Max.
Yeah,
But
it's actually great. It's actually not great to have this much
Is
loose
that,
material on the ship.
Is that what I think that is?
it's a box. There's some chimes in it. You want to see? And she'll open it up and show Max what it is.
I thought I could see the glow from here. Is that Godstone?
It's definitely got
think
some in
so.
the lid. Yeah.
How in the 9 did Jarlaxle come across Godstone? Maybe he was telling the truth.
So he
As
implied
you
it
say
was some
that-
point that he had traveled, and
Right.
then at some other point that he was in his own universe for a while. So it's possible he came to our universe for a while and stole some shit.
Maybe he did tell the truth.
As you say that,
Which part?
there's a klaxon, like an alarm goes off, and you all are rocked violently as the ship begins to spin violently. I would like you all to roll a reflex save.
Okay.
Not a thing.
Dexterity.
I would like you all to roll a dexterity save. Thank you.
Even I know that's
Has
not a
my
thing.
augury gone off?
It'll go off right before this, so we'll jump there in just a moment, and then we'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Well, I rolled that one, but thankfully we have Amity, so I don't have to roll that bad
Ashton,
one.
you have
Good.
a bonus to your roll.
Oh, you all are doing
It's still
We're
terribly.
doing horrible.
Listen,
Just
we can only
awful.
be great a little bit at the time.
Yeah. Well, this would have been a
We're
good
in
time.
space, and none of us are prepared for that one. It makes sense.
No
It's
situation.
completely fair.
Ashton, you get advantage.
Also, apparently
and
we are
plus
only cool in Waterdeep.
4.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
You get advantage and plus 4.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, because you're in Max's aura.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Wow.
14.
Okay. All right. Did anyone get above 15?
No.
No.
Yes, I got
Yes.
a 21.
Listen.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness. So for some reason, well, you were on ships, so like this isn't a ship. It is a ship, but it is not it is not in water. But you were still a little more prepared than the rest for a violent shift in orientation. The others weren't. You're able to grab onto one of these pipes that form a railing. The rest of them just get slammed into bulkheads. Anyone who lost that roll is going to take 2d6 damage. But before that happens, Yara, you were in the cockpit casting augury. Describe how augury works.
So augury is a divination spell in which I pick out some items. It could be like dragon bones. It could be a number of different things.
Okay, what are you using
And-
for this one?
So I am using the tea leaves I got from the tea shop.
Yeah.
And so as she's sort of setting up, it's a little difficult for her because one, it's not gravity. Usually you would sit on the floor. But as she gets into it, despite everything moving around her, she just kind of see her like meditating and staying perfectly still in the air. And she grabs some of the tea leaves, she crumples it in her palm. She just kind of like throws it, because usually you would do this in a cup, but she figures this will probably be similar. And do you know how augury works, or like
No.
as a spell?
I honestly don't. So that's the reason
Okay.
why I'm asking.
So the spell lets me ask a question of a
Right.
specific course of action that I plan to take within the next 30 minutes, and you get to choose wheel for it. Basically, I say, if I do this, is it going to be good, bad, or ugly, or
Sure.
nothing's going to happen?
Okay, what are you asking?
So I'm going to ask, in the next 30 minutes, if I attempt to cast the meteor into the sun using combined divinities of my friends, will I be successful?
Okay, so I would say that as you're looking at these leaves kind of spin in front of you in zero gravity, right? One of them rolls at just as the ship kind of rolls over and exposes this comet glowing in the ring of the sun. This one leaf just tumbles over and for a moment perfectly blots it out, so you can just see the glowing leaf and the glowing comet underneath it. And exactly at that moment, an alarm goes off and the whole ship shifts violently. The leaves and you get slammed into the roof, wherever the rest of you are, get knocked around, and you take.
I'm going to take that as a woe for bad result.
It's like
blotting out the sun is in my.
It just blotted out the one comment. I mean, it's like it was kind of peaceful and weird, like in this weird moment of serenity, and then immediate chaos.
Yeah, but like the whole point of the spell is like
9 points of damage as you all are slammed into various bulkheads, and you hear some very loud and angry gnomes. And Ebony, as you make your way into, like you had just gotten into that, into the engine room area, as this all went off, you're now pinned against a wall, and you see two gnomes inside the engine room, also pinned against walls. Steam is exploding into the room, and through a porthole you can see also shooting out into space as a pipe has burst, and you guys are just spiraling out of control. Let's take our mid-episode break. We'll come back in 10 minutes, and we'll see if any of you survive this. All right. I'll see you then.
It's space.
Space.
I'm in space.
It's already been an hour. Holy crap, that was fast.
Yeah.
Hey, and welcome back to Godsfall, Escape the Union. Everyone in their same right place? Yes, we're all in our same places. Hey, it's a first time for everything. Well done, us.
Nailed
Season
it.
2. Yeah, we solved it.
All right. And when we last left, we had been stranded in space on a magical submarine invented by a drow fop who you had almost killed and was now filling rapidly with ice that was forming from the ballast that had been in your tanks in order to sink you guys into the ocean, which you had been in just before you were in space. And on top of that, a steam pipe apparently burst and you all are spinning out of control. So what do you do now?
I would just like to state for the record that I was promised a beach episode.
We were promised the beach episode.
Yeah, I didn't say it was this episode.
No, what we got this episode
You
was a bottle
specifically
episode.
did. You specifically did.
I think I said next time, right? Which could be this time or
You said
next
it
time.
last episode. You said next time,
You know,
which implying now.
So what I'm going to call now is the DM's fiat, which means that anything I say only matters until the next time I speak. And so therefore,
And sometimes not even then.
sometimes not even then. So I'm going to have to say that there will definitely 100% be a beach episode, but obviously not this time. But you could still crash into one. I mean, there's that.
I aim for the beach.
We're having a bottle episode right now.
Yeah.
We're just stuck in one location. It's
Right.
fine.
Exactly. So what do you do?
Ashton tries to pick herself up off the floor, put the item back in the box that she was showing to Mags,
Sure.
hold her head, and try to find Diamond.
Yeah, you're able to.
Did I ever
you're able to
find the
slam that shut.
gnomes?
Mags will walk
Yeah,
around.
so
You, like,
you
just
are
got in
in
there.
the chamber with the gnomes. They are also pinned against walls and around some machinery. They've got tools in their hands that are pinned up against the walls with them, and they are trying to like fight for control. And there's this burst pipe in between them.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and get to one of them, whichever one's closest to me, and help them get to where they're trying to go.
I would like
I'm
you to
gonna
make
like just assist them.
sure. I would like you to make a strength save.
It's always the halflings making the strength rolls.
It's a 15.
Yeah, you're able to, elbow crawl your way over to where they are, and you can hear them. They're shouting in Gnome. Do you speak Gnome?
I do not.
Okay. It sounds like it's like a very melodical. So it's kind of elven, but it's also got some of the gutturalness of dwarven. So it's an interesting mix in between, but you can't understand a damn word of it. When they do
The
see you,
context of yelling and pointing at the exploding pipe, though, like I just feel like she'd just work out that that's generally what they were trying to do.
that does seem to be the general gist of it. When they see you, they switch like, if we can't seal this, we're all dead. Oh yeah, we're dead.
But whichever one I get to, I'm just hooshing them.
You're just gonna give them like a little shove, right, so they can get up to it. All right.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying. There's a couple bolts on either side of where this gap has now appeared in the pipe and in the hull of the ship. So the air is just rushing out, and they're trying to like wrench it shut so it crimps on either side. They're having trouble. What are the rest of you doing while they're doing this?
Well, Diamond had been heading back to try and like deal with the ballast issue, but then
Right.
that happened. So she's
So you're
like
just kind
probably
of looking
somewhere-
through like a little glass panel into an area beyond the held water, right? And you can see
Yeah.
where there was about 3/4 of it was filled with water, and the rest of it is this frozen sludge where it's solid around the edges and is becoming more solid in the middle, but there's still some liquid water in the center of it.
Is there like an option or anything like that like says like, hey, you can eject this, or like
There are
anything
there
like
are
that?
pipes, like you could pull a lever and it would just blast out all the liquid in there.
At the very least, if we blast all the liquid that's in there out now, where the ice is, it'll have room to expand anyways, and won't be breaking over more of the ship in the meantime.
It's
Like,
solid.
that's-
It's a solid guess.
Yeah, like it's like it's like I don't know space is the unfortunate truth.
Fortunately, I am well versed. So, do you pull the lever? Sure. Take your time. It's only a spiraling.
Meanwhile, I'm
Submarine.
helping
Oh,
Asher
sorry.
get back to the deck.
Oh, that's
My
nice.
Wi-Fi is sort of my Wi-Fi
Oh.
crapped out there for a moment, but I'm
No
back.
problem.
So Diamond's gonna weigh that for a moment because like we are spinning and all that, and it's just like, well, everything's already going to shit, and I need to make sure this stuff isn't in here breaking anyway. So yeah, she's gonna pull the lever to try and eject the water, even it's probably not gonna help. But at the same time, you got to do something.
You pull this big, huge lever, chunk, the red lights spin on. There's this klaxon that goes off. You hear these grates slide open, and nothing happens because the valves are all frozen over. There's like there's a pressure and a shutter, and there's some like little flecks of ice that go spiraling out of the ship, but that's it. And then you're just slammed against the wall as the ship
Yeah.
is spiraling out of control.
Yeah, she just like makes a bunch of like really like just angry raccoon sounds, basically.
Right, which is like 80% of the sounds a raccoon makes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. And then Ashran and Magnuson, you guys were making your way where?
I wanted to try to find Mags after, or not
Well-
Mags. I wanted to find Diamond after Mags helped me up.
Got you. Okay, so you guys are heading to. So as you finish trying that diamond, Magnuson and Ashran make their way into the ballast area, the ballast viewing area, I suppose, along with you.
How can I help?
You asked that, and like Diamond sort of like peeling herself away from the side there, and she's just like, I don't know, everything is freezing for some reason, and I don't understand why, and I don't understand why we're spinning, and
Do you want me to heat things up then?
she like thinks for a moment, and she'll like look over to like, you know, the areas where it's supposed to like eject what's there, and she'll like point and say, if you can find some way to heat that up, it might be able to melt the ice inside. If the ice inside is melted, we might be able to properly eject all the water that's in here, and then hopefully for at least a little while we won't have to worry about everything exploding.
I can try to do that. Let me see. Is heat metal a touch thing?
Nope.
No, I don't believe it is. I think
I
it's
think it's
like a
actually
30
great.
foot.
60 feet.
60 feet. Yeah, that's plenty.
60 feet.
And you
Okay,
can
so-
see all the little, you can see these areas that he's talking about because you're just looking through this very clear ice.
And I'm gonna have to cast it at a higher level because I ran out of second level spell slots.
Well, if you bridged, you could do that.
Well,
Yeah,
you can do a third.
Well, I have
Yeah.
third level spell
Oh,
slots.
I see what you're saying.
Bridging was probably a good idea anyways, though, because you can probably like
That's
could-
true.
It's probably a good idea because it's probably gonna let you can probably maintain that everything doesn't stay frozen as it's shooting out, basically.
That's true.
So
Okay, so Ashwin will reach down to your raccoony hand
Oh,
and
little
just
teeny
sort of
paw.
nod at you and
Yeah.
start the bridge.
It's like raccoons in every cartoon where there's like the paw is like 20% the size of the arm, right? There's just this tiny, tiny little hand, right? All right, so you guys bridge easily. It's very easy to maintain a bridge between two gods, and you guys have connected before. So this is very. You just grab her hand.
Ashran's
you
also
feel the
like, you know,
rush.
subset demigod of bridging as well. So
Right, there's that.
Yeah.
It's always easier with Ashford. Yeah, like a little
Yep.
teeny strand wraps around your finger, and you guys just form a bridge. Ashford, you're able to focus on it's even easier now that you're kind of connected with Diamond, because Diamond knows the technical layout, and so you easily see what you have to do.
Yeah.
You're able to melt
Al-
these holes with not much
Although
trouble.
Ashwin's good at mending diamonds, diamond is much better.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Diamond
and-
probably like reaches over her hand too, like just like slaps it on the side of the ship, and like, you know, any potential like heat damage that you're causing through this, she is just like, I'm just gonna fix it, like brute force fix it with magic while we go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
between the bridge and heat metal and diamonds mending, we try to fix it.
I would say
we
it
try to get
works.
as much of that ballast out, basically.
Yeah. So, Diamond, as your paw touches the hull and you can kind of see what needs to be done and what needs to be protected, and Ashwin, you just follow that, and you follow those lines out, and this energy snakes along the hull and gets to these portals and just like spins in threads around them, and then it just glows and gets hotter and hotter as chunks of ice begin to let loose and flow through, and then just an explosion of water out all four of these holes. And as your ship was spinning out of control, it begins to level just from the force of these blasts shooting out in all directions, causes your ship to just shake and huddle in the center, but level for one moment. That's enough for the gnomes to get that clamp shut. The steam is contained again, and the ship just shudders for a moment, but eventually just begins to calmly float above the earth. And you can, it's like kind of the top of it is now flipped over, so you're looking down at the earth through the glass canopy above you, and you're just kind of slowly rotating over the King Sea. And the red lights go off, the alarms go off, and you do seem to be alive. There's still about like maybe a couple big chunks of ice in the hold, but they're just kind of floating around, and it seems fine otherwise.
They're a future problem, basically. Like, if they get worse, we'll take care of it then. But yeah, Diamond will...
The ship's not going to explode right now, so yay. Yeah.
Yeah, Diamond just looks over and smiles at you. It's like, good job to you. You did wonderful.
That was good. Yeah, that was real good.
All right.
Let's never have to do that again.
Hopefully, yes. I do not... I think space is something that I will avoid for the time being until I can go into it in something that is not a submarine for water, but a submarine for space. Future plans.
Yes, that sounds excellent.
Hard cut back to Khalgun and the space program.
It wouldn't be called a submarine. It would be called a over marine or a top marine. Top marine. That's what it'd be called.
Fine, a top marine is what
There.
Marine implies water.
We own the patent. Oh, you're right. So top space. We own the patent. Top space.
You can have the patent. I will simply help try to build this thing at some point, because
These guys don't know how to negotiate at all. They're just giving us shit. I know, right? It's like we should have found them from the beginning. This is a whole lot easier.
Yeah, Diamond just
And
knows.
guns in space will be called Top Guns.
That's exactly what it's going to be called. So the gnomes are busy fixing the ship. The rest of you are able to gather at some point. There's not really a lot of damage because everything in the ship is bolted down. When you pull out a dining room, a chair, it like unlocks but along a rail and just slides backward and then locks again. So everything in this place is got a container or a drawer that locks and shuts. If there's like a magnifying glass, it's got a chain to where it can be held down, so everything is
or like
protected
magnets
here
as well or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, definitely magnets all over. Why not? Yeah.
So I mean, Diamond will let we'll let Hun and Anna know that, like, hey, I specialize in repair stuff there, so if you need my help with anything, just let me know. But otherwise, we'll leave them to it because this is their craft. They know more of what's going on with it.
No, they both gesture to, like, as soon as you say, like, I can fix things that are broken, they gesture to everything around them. They just point to all the broken things and just hand you a wrench.
Oh yeah, Diamond will take that back. Yeah, just like immediately like sets to work on that. But like, it is basically like, hey, if you need me, and it's just like gonna like start going and like, it's just like, okay, we're in space. I need to make sure we don't die, so I'm gonna go. Just like, a mixture of like it's like a mixture. It's like, she's like, oh, I know how to fix this, and we'll just do it herself. And if she does, and if it's like beyond like an easy fix she can do herself, she's like, bah! Just magics it.
Right, absolutely. And like as soon as you say, I've kind for a hand, like there's a wrench that appears from one of them and a list that appears from the other of them. So you've got a whole...
She takes both and she's like, oh, okay, perfect. Like she's like I'm in my element now. Call me if you need me, and just poof.
It just vanishes in a cloud of steam and just lights and mechanical noises. All right, excellent. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna sit down and show everybody what I found.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's chimes, but more interesting is the Godstone.
Yeah. Perfectly cut. Like this, it was clearly made as a piece along with this box, which is not something that's brand new. It's clearly was made, it shows signs of age. So this is something that he's had for a while, or that at least had existed for a while.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes a certain amount of sense. We knew that he maybe had access to some kind of portal. Stuff falls through portals sometimes. Case in point. Yeah. I guess the thing I just want to say, and I want to say it so that we're just all acknowledging that it's on the table, is if this craft becomes too dangerous, we can just abandon it. Potentially. I mean, we've never tried to use the book in space before, but I guess it should be the same, right? So, I mean, we'd have to bring the gnomes with us. I feel like we can't, like, abandon them here. That would be pretty shit. And, I mean, that down there is not their world anyway, so we'd be bringing them to another not their world, but at some point it's sort of redundant. And we just load them up with gold, they'll probably be fine.
So as far as
Load
I
them
remember,
up with some gold.
Yeah, as far as I remember, we have the valley, I believe.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the places in the book? And then I have.
Yeah, we have the valley, and I think that's a strong possibility.
And then I have the bookmark that has Barros's signature all over it.
At
But I
this
haven't
point,
put
Yara
that in
comes
yet.
in from the front of the ship saying, I was shouting in the voice box, but you guys couldn't hear me.
No, sorry.
No, we didn't
We're
hear
here.
anything.
Look, I found a Godstone.
And I'm considering abandoning ship, but you know, that's just
And Diamond's
putting it
trying
out
to fix
there.
the ship.
yeah. I'm just putting it out there just in case it doesn't work out.
Actually,
as a plan
Diamond
B.
did fix the ship. She's now trying to fix more of the ship.
Yeah. What were you shouting, sweetheart?
Yes, I do. Yara says, well, I was trying to figure out how to deal with the meteorite, like we were talking about, and then I kind of fell and I hit the controls, and I don't know what I did.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool. I'm definitely not the person to help with that because I don't know how anything on this thing works. I didn't know how it worked when we were in water, and I definitely don't know what to do now. So that sounds like a Diamond problem.
Do you want me to go get Diamond, Amity?
Yeah.
I'll go get Diamond.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, I will go grab Diamond and.
Diamond is halfway through their list. Like, just, you know, tools everywhere. You found a tool belt and have just strapped it on. You've got
Yeah,
you know,
and she's like, you know, like busy, like you see her like wrenching something like finally back into place, and just like looks over and just like scratches off another thing on the list, like goes down to the next one, and it's like, this one is.
Yara said she hit something in the control room.
Oh,
You
that
want to
could be a
come
problem.
check it out?
Yes, I will come take it. And she
Okay.
rolls the list back up, like shoves it into a pocket, and then clanks, you know, all the tools and stuff back that way, and will, you know, scamper skadoodle her way back to.
I could just see you in this zero gravity, and you know, there's basically pipes that run throughout every corridor and then into every room, and you're just like up on the ceiling, running along a pipe, right?
Yep.
From
Yeah,
room
she's
to
like,
room. Yeah. No.
It comes
reduction
in upside
movement
down to
whatsoever.
everybody else.
Yeah.
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 So what I
It's-
imagine happened is when she was in her augury, when she was doing augury, she was kind of floating above, and then when everything happened, like she just fell
Yeah.
onto some controls, and so she's
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
Diamond will,
get,
you know,
you
come
get
around
into
and
the
just.
cockpit, and there is like, what control did you crash into? What system
I mean,
did you
definitely
crash into?
navigation
Sure.
of some kind. I don't know what.
There was when you had that panel where there was those tubes that would connect to different parts of the ship and show you the conditions of those
Yeah.
ships. He cracked the connecting panels, so the whole back end of the ship is now dark.
Yeah, so like, yeah, Diamond looks at that. Is like, well.
Take you about an hour, but you could fix that.
Yeah, she nods. She's like, it's simply read out on things. I think I can get it fixed.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it is fine. Things break. That is the nature of things. You know, Diamond just like shrugs and gestures around. Just like, you make things, they work for a while, they break, you fix them, they break, you fix them, they break, you fix them, you find out eventually that the next time they break that you can't fix it, you put it to the side, it eventually gets designated as trash, but the thing about trash is that eventually you find out that it's not actually trash. It's a very long, complex process.
You're like halfway into the fix already.
Yeah, and she's like already like getting in there to like start messing with it.
Yeah. And what are the rest of you? What are you all doing?
I don't think there's anything useful I can do.
Just kind of staring out a window. It is gorgeous, you know.
I mean, I'm the stab people person. There's no one to stab. What do you want me to do? Stab space?
Right.
You know?
Get you a knife that
Just
can
go
stab
cast
space.
magic missile at the darkness, okay?
Right.
Yeah, the time old classic.
You're
I
fine.
don't even have that kind of spell. I
Right.
couldn't even do that.
You could throw like a knife at the portal, but just dink off the window. And...
Yeah, like not a great idea. I'm not gonna attack the windows while we're in space.
No. Well,
Seems like a bad idea.
for the time being, then, as repairs are being completed, there is food aboard. As you look through some of the cabinets in the main meeting area, there's like ridiculous stuff. Like there's sardines and caviar and
It's stuff you
every
really shouldn't
type
keep
of-
on a sub, but
every type of mushroom you could possibly imagine, like the fanciest mushrooms, right?
Yeah, Abby just gets really high.
Yeah. There's weed. There's totally
Well-
weed.
Oh,
Like,
sorry. No,
in
you were talking about
Jaraxxil's-
actual mushrooms.
Oh yeah, it's about actual mushrooms.
Right,
But yeah,
okay.
I mean, Jaraxxil's got
Truffles and stuff.
there's a boudoir area
Right,
in
right,
the
right,
back
right.
that
I
is
thought
like
this
his
was a-
private chambers, and the bed is like this. Like the whole back of the ship rounds off, and the bed is rounded and meets it in that corner. So the whole back is like this.
Is the
round
ceiling
bed area.
ceiling mirrored?
The ceiling is a combination of mirrors and windows looking out, all jewel tones, right? So some of them would show them
Right.
off, and some would just be glimpses outside. There's big red
Amazing.
velvet curtains on this huge poster bed, but also inside this area is some useful things, and some of those things are drugs. There's just like a whole the whole bedside table. You just if you were looking through it and you tapped it on the top, and this whole rack of different types of things rolls out. Every drug you could want is there.
he's a drow. He's gonna have some sick ass poison.
There's gonna be some good ones
I'm
in
just scooping that into a bag. I'm scooping.
there. Just every
oh.
vial.
Yara can tell me what's poisonous later.
Speaking,
I mean,
I'm a
Mags,
paladin, I can cure
if you're
poison.
still a little woozy from your poison, Mags, we got a lot of shit to fuck up.
Yeah.
Before
everyone runs away, Tyler, you did say that you wanted to have a chance.
Yeah,
to talk
I
with
did,
everybody.
yeah,
This seems
so-
like a good chance.
yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted to
Celebrate.
if I could get everyone in the same room at some point,
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
wonderful.
You can get us in the cockpit. Diamond will listen.
We can,
in while
we
she's
can all
fixing
sit where
yeah.
Diamond's working.
Yeah.
So as we're all sitting there, Yara seems to have called this meeting, and she kind of just breathes a second, and she looks over at Amity, and she just gives a smile, and she says, "When we first started this, Aro said that we were monsters, and that we would hurt people, and I didn't think that was true, but the last few days, I think we've proven him right." Amity, I'm not going to judge you, but there's a difference between finding justice and revenge, and I'm worried about you.
You are correct, and I chose the second one, and I don't regret it.
But you proved him right.
No, and I also don't give a shit. Here's the thing: I don't care what Barrows thinks of me. I don't care if he thinks I'm a monster. I don't care who thinks I'm a monster. I know what I'm doing.
But the problem is, it's not what he thinks, it's what the people that you used to run around with. What do they think? Seeing what they've seen of us in our...
Sorry, say that again?
The problem isn't what you think. It isn't what Barrows thinks. It isn't what any of the other gods think. But what about our families? The people that we love, the people that we used to be around. What did they think about us after everything they've seen?
If we're being watched,
I know exactly what my family would think.
if we're being
because
watched, and our
every
actions are being
single
judged.
Every single member of my family is part of the same cause. I have one small family dedicated to a single ideal. We gave up our entire lives. We had absolutely nothing but our cause and our mission and each other. So believe me when I tell you, they're on the same page.
All I'm trying to say is that if we're being judged by our actions here, and we're still being watched, are we proving them right?
Why does that matter?
Because I don't want to spend the next 50 years like the god of travel we just met, jumping from plane to plane. We have this book, but our stories aren't in the pages, our stories are here. And my story isn't here for long. I'm not supposed to be here. I mean, I am, but I don't want to be here as long as I can.
I think
I want
you're
to go home.
coming at this from a good place, but I think you're thinking about it all wrong. If the people watching us and the people judging us had any kind of moral core, then what you were saying could be true. But they don't, Yara. They don't. They don't have any moral core. They don't care about what's right, and they don't care about kindness. They care about discipline, and they care about power. So if we were sloppy messes, or if we were too weak to survive, then they would let us die and be glad of it. But they don't care whether we're kind, and they don't care whether we are justified. They care whether or not we're dignified. Just about.
Well,
I'm
what
not
about
saying
the
that's-
others who will follow us?
Now we believe
They're-
that too. Like mankind, people are just jerks. They're all, oh yeah, they're terrible. Like everyone's awful and only out for
Me-
themselves all the time.
I'm talking about specific people. I'm talking about specific gods that are currently in
need to-
control.
No,
of this
and like
scenario.
everyone,
Let's be
no,
really clear.
we are completely with her. Like the world is shit, and you gotta
Hey,
take what's yours.
you guys are
all
not
the
being as
time.
much help as you think you are.
We have equal voices, though. That was negotiated in the contract. Like we are allowed to be here
It's
at
true.
the table.
I'm just saying,
and
like,
provide
I'm
our
saying-
viewpoints as well.
I am responding by saying you're not being as helpful as you think you are.
Oh, well, well, we support you, so we agree.
Yara, I think I don't know. I mean, I think my sister would be proud of me, but like I want to go home too. I mean, we're on the same page as that, you and I. Like all I want to do is go home.
It's interesting you all say this, because I've been watching you for a month now. At this point, it has been a month since we all met, right? About.
Give or take. Yeah,
Rough.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
what I
about.
want to get that right. I've been watching you for
Time's a
about
bit
month now.
wibbly, but yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ish. Yeah.
I see the way you sometimes look at me when I do things that help you, and I feel like you look at me as I'm a monster sometimes. And I can't help but to think, if I look at you that way, even if you have good intentions, we can only be judged by our actions.
I agree. And that's why I don't think that there's a functional difference between revenge and something else. It's about the pragmatic, actual effect of it.
We're all monsters to someone.
Well, yes and no, but it's also just, in some ways, I don't mind. You gotta understand, my divinity is so different to yours, Yara, and my goal and how I have to do things is different. I am fighting a losing battle, a lost battle, a battle that now across several universes, there's evidence that I will never ever win. I don't know if you can imagine what that would be like to conceive of. So, to a certain extent, it's funny that you say revenge. It's, and I don't mean that to be bad. I mean, it's actually kind of funny because I was thinking exactly the same thing. Maybe that's all it is, really. Maybe I don't get to fix things. Maybe I just get to make them a little bit better afterwards. Maybe I just need to. I am a check and balance in the system, and maybe that's all I'll ever be. And I am becoming okay with that.
Every day I'm with you, I feel myself changing. And I've been meditating on why when you guys sleep. And I know it's because I'm the demigod of stewardship. And stewardship means taking care of people, means taking care of lands. I'm not who I was when I first was on that boat, because I think I've taken the mantle of being a steward of you. So when you say our divinities are different, I don't know who I'm going to be tomorrow. And if I don't keep my morals, if I don't believe in the things that I once did, who am I'm not me anymore.
That's
And
not
that's
how
what-
that works. I can 100% tell you that's not how that works.
Sure feels that way.
Changing is
Anyone
normal.
you want to be.
But also, I'm not saying you have to change, and I respect what you believe and what your moral compass is should be important to you. Of course, it should be. But those are two separate things. There's having your own moral compass and what you believe, and frankly, I don't feel that I've compromised my moral compass. I know what I believe, and I know what I believe is wrong and right. And frankly, I live in a violent world, and do I use violence? Yes. Is it a fantastic part of my personality? No, but there it is what it is. And ultimately my actions wouldn't change. If I had seemed like I was having less fun, would you have been more comfortable? If I had laughed less? Because frankly, I can't do what I do and not laugh. I'm sorry, but I can't. I can't be who I am, and I can't protect people that I need to protect and not find a way of taking the edge off, and that's my way. And it doesn't change the morality of my actions, because my actions are my actions, whether I'm crying about it afterwards or laughing about it afterwards. The functional effect of my actions is the same. And for you, your moral compass can be different to mine, and that's fine. But it's natural to change. It's natural to grow. You're going through an incredibly traumatic event. If you weren't changing, that would be strange.
Jared doesn't have anything to say to that. Just more to think about for later.
I mean, these are big topics, sweetheart, and I'm glad you brought it up. I want you to talk about these things if you're worried, but frankly, there's not an easy answer here. I've been having to think about this for a long time, years and years, and I don't have an easy answer. I don't have a formula that'll make it make sense for you. I only have what worked for me, and we're not the same person, and we don't have the same goals, and so I don't think my roadmap is any good to you.
All I know is before I choose to kill someone, I have to follow the rules.
Good.
You know, if it helps at all, when we had to kill our brother, like, that was tough for a while, but then we got over it. Yeah, I mean, like, I couldn't sleep for a while, and I still occasionally had some nightmares, right?
Cannot emphasize
he had
this
it
enough.
coming, and it just had to go. So you'll be okay. You'll be okay after a while.
Can we lock him in a storage room for a while?
We can give him a task to do. I don't
Sorry,
think
Yara, can you tell me these mushrooms I'm holding in my hand, poisonous or hallucinogenic?
nature check.
Yeah. I would say with advantage. Because
YouTube.
this is easy.
I was going to say with
Downstairs.
disadvantage because it's from a different plane of existence.
Yeah,
I've
but
never
they're
seen.
still basically the same.
It's
I
just-
mean, you know, yeah.
Just tell me if they're shrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, nature with advantage is going to be 21.
Yeah, that's going to work just fine. So in all the mushrooms that you found in the galley are edible. Those are all just different kinds of food.
Oh yeah, no,
mushrooms,
these are
right?
the ones from the bedroom. I'm holding like three
Yeah.
different ones from the bedroom.
Yeah, so the ones from the bedroom, they're all dried and they're all in little vials and they're clearly different types of hallucinogens. One of
Okay.
them is like this kind of it's like coal. It's kind of this ashy coal color, right? Another one is this kind of pale ivory, this yellowish ivory, like bone that's been aged and left out for a while. And the third one is this vivid purple, just this bright, purple that when you hold up to the light shines with a luminescence.
So
EtU, you're very detail oriented, right? You know the ship in and out? How much is the hull?
I mean, how much is the hull?
How much is the hull?
The hull? Oh, like how much is all the like the money down there, right?
I
Like,
want
so-
an audit of everything that is in that
Oh.
treasury right now.
And
Go.
like one of them is like takes off and runs back, and then she comes back up and she throws a big old book onto the table and she's flipping through, and it's all written in Undercommon, right? So do any of you read Undercommon? No, none of you do, right?
I don't
So
think
like, all right, so it's the total haul with everything else, and we had to pay a docking fee. Those docking fees are tough. Oh, I know, but you got to pay them, because if we don't pay them, we don't have to cover the rest of the ship. Well, minus those docking fees that we had to pay, we're at about 106,392 gold.
And the items?
That includes like everything. So like the total evaluation of all the stuff.
Is there
mean, that's
any? Is there
Almost
any
certainly short at least 50 gold, but
Is there any documentation on all of the magic items on board?
Yeah, so the items that you guys have, that you have found so far, are... Hang on, wait, let me open that page again.
And while you're opening that page,
Yeah.
Yara responds to Amity, and she says, that one's... I've never seen that before, but it looks poisonous. That one...
Well, you would interpret all of the hallucinogenic ones as poisonous, right?
no, my
Yes.
question was, are they hallucinogenic or just poisonous? That was
Right.
my question.
As
So
someone
I
who's immune to poison, what hallucinogenic drugs work on me?
I would say that none of these would work on you.
but you would still know what
You
they
would know
were.
that they are hallucinogenic. Like,
yeah,
like they work on
because
other
you know whether or not
creatures.
safe for like animals to eat. And stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think I saw... So that one's definitely poisonous. That one looks a lot like something that Ineas once ate, and he was passed out for like 2 days.
Right.
And
Perfect.
then that one...
Oh,
Oh
I would-
boy.
All right, I would like you to make a Constitution save.
Do you want to choose to just fail it? Is
Look,
the question
I
though.
don't think
all
you
I'm
choose
saying
to
is
fail
that you
something
made
you've
her
ingested.
you made Amity talk about her feelings. So
Right. Right.
That-
Yeah, well,
that's,
oh, that's a
20.
bummer. Yeah, apparently it's been in there for a while. He hasn't really handed. It's like it's just a dud, but you're not going to know for like an hour. Right.
No
that
buzz off
sucks.
this.
Yeah, so you take your medicine, and the rest of you are just kind of like trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, like you guys are still kind of like slow. You are now locked in this upside down orbit. Although what is upside down? But you are
Yeah.
still very much in space. The two gnomes, the oxygen that is created is magical. The pressurization is done by steam that's on a permanent magical system. It's just a bar of heat metal and then a decanter of endless water. So there's
So we're
you know,
good.
they can do
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, they could. You could exist in this environment for some time before you began to run out of food and other basics. But that could be a while.
Which is good. That gives us time to
Oh.
think finally.
There
for a
was one more thing she wanted to bring up.
Hmm.
And so after the whole drug situation is over,
Just tied up my bag of drugs for later.
she turns to the group and she says, I will meditate on what you've all said so far, but at the same time, we can't keep running from Baros.
Oh no, I agree. Honestly, if I hadn't been so hyped up after the whole fight, I might have actually agreed with you. I just thought, it's funny. Sometimes when I'm very hyped up, I want to do things that are not great ideas. So my first instinct when I want to do something is not to do that thing, to do the opposite of that thing. So because my first instinct when I saw that pyramid was to climb on top of the submarine and punch him in the face, I was like, no, Amity, you got to go into the hole. That's the exact opposite of doing that. But actually, in hindsight, I think you've got a fair point.
I think before we confront Baros, we need help.
From who?
Gods like Tyr, like Dora, willing to
We could talk
put
to
the man of
sun.
order in his place.
If we are going to face off against Baros, I think the important thing is finding a place, a time that we want to do that.
Why must it be
as
a fight?
Mag said, finding people.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a fight because we don't know exactly what he wants or exactly
We can-
what is going on.
We can hope for a discussion.
Uh,
we can hope that he will be willing to do that after all of this, but
Could I see the book?
yes, let me see. And, she'll like dig into the bag and be like, like rummages for a moment and comes out with the bag and not the bag with the book, and we'll hand that over.
First time
The
she's
good
seen
thing
the-
about
oh,
preparing for a fight, though, is that you rarely regret that. You know, like if you turn up thinking it's going to be a fight and it turns out to be like tea and muffins, you're like, well, okay, I can not take these knives out of my boots, but I'm still eating tea and muffins. But
She
if you turn
opens
up
up the
and you
book.
think you're going to have tea and muffins, and then it turns out to be a fight, and there are no knives in your boots, you know what I'm saying?
She opens up to the center of the book. Is it still with the blackout pages?
Yes, so the center of the book is still that dark, crackling middle. So the two middle pages that face each other are solid black. The pages
Okay.
next to them are mostly black, and the edges are like crackling with this purple energy. It always seems to be like slightly burning a bit. And then the pages next to those are beginning to darken as if they're being exposed to heat, but they're darkening and turning purple, almost as if
Didn't
they're
we put-
bruising.
Didn't we like
We put the gold strand.
And then-
strand which slowed one of them down?
At the edge of that, right, is this gold threading that you've weaved all along the edge to kind of contain it. That threading is discoloring in certain areas, like a couple bits of the thread have snapped. So it's holding, but doesn't appear like it'll hold for long.
It slowed it down.
Yeah.
We should.
I want to just look at the center page real quick, and I don't know if this is a good idea, but Yara wants. I want to have Yara rip that page out.
Okay, so you go to grab it, and your fingers go through it. It's as if you're trying to grab shadow. So the page is there.
So I can
but
like flip it, but I can't interact
Exactly.
with it.
You can probably interact with the edge of the page, but if you try to
Yeah.
actually grab the page, your fingers probably like go
Yeah.
through.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then one other thing I want to do with the book, because she hasn't looked at it before.
yeah,
Go to the pages that we've already been to
right.
and see if the images have changed at all. Like,
I believe those
especially-
pages vanished, right? Once you had
Yeah,
gone
they
there, those
vanished.
Oh, they
pages
did?
vanished.
Okay,
yeah,
I
so
apologize. I
sadly,
didn't realize that.
well, you know what? Let's say that as you flip back there is a page now, but it's just like a normal page. Like it's as if someone had drawn out some notes. There's the name of the area. There's a drawing of an event that you all were involved in. But it now feels very much like a recording of something that has passed, as opposed to a portal into something.
Okay. This book is based on past and future, right?
Yes, the stuff towards the front is closer to the past. Stuff in the middle, I suppose, would be closer to what is happening right now, and the stuff towards the back is the possible future, from what we've been able to observe so far.
So, if we wanted to find him, or go to Barrows, couldn't we meet him after we left the Union?
Go to the first page and get him when he's a baby. That's,
No, I
That's
mean
the
like
plan.
as soon as we disappeared, like we could find that page. And
Ooh,
we,
that's a good idea. Yeah,
and
Diamond like seems to consider and says,
Back
"Yes,
in the Union in the glade.
if we could
with the
find
yeah,
centaurs?
it's like if we just did it like a few minutes before that, after that event happened.
potentially, we'd have to find."
Yeah.
We'd have to find something, some sort of bookmark that could lead us back to that point, and we'd have to find a point
Or we can
in
just
the
put
book
his
that's
bookmark.
close to it.
Do we think we're ready to go back there yet?
I need to sleep.
Well,
I didn't
not
think we were
right now.
not this exact moment. I really could use a nap, maybe some breakfast, and then I'll kill a
How
guy.
about-
Didn't
like,
even
right
let us
after
level
lunch?
up after we fought Axel, so
Right. Speaking of which, what level are you all right now?
We're
Five.
six.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
6?
yeah. You all should be
Six.
6 now, right?
Six,
But
yeah.
you
we were
Yeah,
six
so I am six.
you were
after
but
the
you were
giraffes.
6 going in, right? Yeah. So I would say after getting the submarine, surviving death almost, fighting Jarlaxle, yeah, I would say that when you guys have your next long rest, you get to be 7th level. Yeah.
Which we can have in space
So
where
episode
no one
four.
can
yeah,
get
you
us.
can level up
I'm
in
gonna
space.
take my oath.
Yeah,
Get my paladin oath.
That's nice. You can actually like take your paladin oath as you're kind of spitting directly between the sun and earth. That's kind of great, actually.
And it's pretty appropriate
sick.
given the conversation we just had before bed because
And I can be a witness.
let's guess which oath it is.
And the other paladin can witness the new paladin.
yeah.
It's Oath of Vengeance.
It's completely oath of vengeance. Absolutely. As like the sun turns blood red. And your heartbeats are the only thing you can hear in your ears. That and vengeance.
Oh.
Are you a boy or a girl? I'm a
Alright,
reckoning.
that's all I wanted to say, and I finally got to say it. So that's
Nice.
everything.
Nice.
If anyone else has anything,
Well, let's say this then. Let's say that as you guys are getting ready to take your long rest, let's go around and talk about what each of you are doing. So let's start with Amity and let's describe.
oh wait, can I get my loot? Everyone else got loot?
Oh, that's right. You want actually? Let's do that real fast. So
Oh, yeah, let's do the loot inventory.
So as far as the potions, who
Oh,
got
I
the-
have all the potions.
You had all the healing potions, right? And then you also
And
picked
the
up,
mysterious one.
right. The mysterious one is a potion of clairvoyance.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Ashrin, you picked up a couple potions too, right?
I did.
Who
I
else?
have
Magnuson.
the
Magnuson grabbed the other
I have
potions.
the liquid stone and then the green gas.
The
the fart
liquid
cloud.
stone is a potion of stone giant strength,
Okay, so I was
and
close.
the gaseous liquid is a potion of gaseous form.
Oh.
The
Interesting.
chimes are chimes of opening.
Ah,
And
Tyler,
who
you're right.
didn't get to roll to find an item?
That was me.
Start with Yara, so you roll first.
Investigation or
Yeah, that works.
all right.
Or is
So-
it just the D1?
No, I'm sorry. Just roll a D100.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was,
yeah.
You had everyone else do it. So.
Because they were actually, now you can just like look at your leisure,
100.
100.
Sick! Yeah!
Okay.
What sick thing does Yara get?
Interesting.
You know, I just gave up a really good item, so a wand of wish probably. I don't know.
Okay, so
God.
Have
Oh
fucking wish
crap! We still have
coins.
the coins.
you're
Oh,
searching
Jesus.
through.
Oh,
and
fuck, we do.
You're like looking through all of these things and like putting aside bags of coins and gems and other trinkets, and then you find this scroll case, and it kind of it jumps out at you because it's like a double scroll case, and it's just this jet black with all this like deep indigo threading all around it. And as you turn it over, like at first it just looks solid black, but as it hits the light, it reveals all the imagery that's been sewn into it of like this land with a dark sun. And as you pop open the top of it, there's rolled up material in one hole and the other one is empty.
So gently take out the material. Is it paper, cloth, or paper?
It's rolled up cloth. You pull it
Okay.
out, and as you open it, it's a black circle. And as you look into it, it's just like you're looking into a space that doesn't exist. It's if you had a bag open and you're
So I
looking
would have
into
probably
a
seen this when
bag.
Jarlaxle used it.
This
as
looks
a portable-
exactly like the portable hole Jarlaxle used.
What's in it? What's in it? What's in it?
Oh,
Nothing.
is there?
Space.
Yeah,
Is
no, it's
this
just like a
what
hole.
Yeah, you reach in and there is a space there, but that space is empty.
Neat.
That's
You have a
awesome.
portable hole. And who else didn't roll? Someone else didn't roll, right?
I haven't rolled yet.
All right,
I will-
Diamond, go ahead and roll, please.
I will give it a go. Little D100. 87.
87. And that's going to... Oh, all right. Okay, so... Wow.
I don't know what that means. I'm a
I
little
would
scared
like
now.
you to roll a D6.
Okay. Little
Oh, I
scared.
love it.
It's a 3.
Okay, so you're searching, and everyone else, found their items, but you search a little deeper. You manage to crawl all the way into the back, and you're
Just like
looking
last time.
all around, and you're just using
Like when I
your
was looking for
little
the rug.
trash or treasure detector, right, to ping, ping, ping. And in the back, there's a little hidden compartment underneath the barrel that you have to drag out of the way. You dig your little hands into it, and you unhook a latch, and it pulls up a box. That box is locked as a little poison sling trap at the side of it that would like shoot out a needle that you have to undo. So you're back there for like 10 minutes, but you finally crack this thing open, and there is this arrow, just this arrow that must have taken 100 hours to carve, 100 hours to style, lined with gems and beads, and the fletching is a wing from all different birds. This is the most time you've ever seen put into something that was meant to be fired as a weapon. There's a little bit of text on a small parchment scroll inside it, and as you read through it, your eyes widen when you realize that this is an arrow of God slaying. And we're going to hold right there. Thank you all for joining us for this week's Godsfall Escape
wrong.
the Union.
Next week we find Boros!
Bitch.
I'm very happy to see all of you. When are we going to come back again? Do we have a set date for the next
No.
episode?
Not yet. We're gonna have to figure that one out.
Right, we will figure that out and get
2
back
weeks,
to
3
you all
weeks, who
soon.
knows?
But I am really glad to be back and recording. So let's start with Amity.
No, I'm not speaking to you.
You have to. It's the law. I can take
It's
away
the law.
XP.
Hold on.
We don't use XP.
It's all right. Crap. You're a criminal. I
That's what I
forgot.
think of your laws.
Right.
Hold on, I knocked out my headphone doing that.
That's fair.
All right. Hello, I'm Orla, and I play Amity, the demigod of grey morality.
That's fair. Yeah. And Ashrin.
Hi, I'm Mary. I play Ashrin, the demigod of a lot of internal thoughts right now.
Demigod of internal thoughts.
Well, it
Magnus.
started
That's where
when
most people
Yara-
keep their thoughts.
Well, no, it started when Yara was like, "Well, why do we care what other people think about us and our actions?" And it's gone
That's
from
fair.
there. So
Yeah. All right. Over to Magnuson.
Hi. I'm Chris. I play Magnuson, demigod of. Oh shit, we're in space now?
Demigod of astronauts. Yeah.
Hell
Khalgun's
yeah.
first space program.
And then Yara.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I play Yara, the demigod of holes. Plot holes, portable holes.
Really glad that you clarified that. Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Yara.
Hi Shia LaBeouf, how you doing?
And last but not least, Diamond.
Hi, I'm James, and I play Diamond, the demigod of soon-to-be deicide. Let's fucking go!
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say no now. And then my name
God, I
is
didn't see that
Aram.
one coming.
I have had a great time this week. We will post times as soon as we know when the next episode's going to be, and we will see you all then. Have a good one.
Bye.